Are you hearing that housing appreciation is skyrocketing right now? And are you scratching your head about housing affordability? Are you afraid that you're priced out of the market? Well, Leigh from Guaranteed Rate and I sit down and chat about that in today's video.
Hey everyone, it's Leigh, Vice President of Mortgage Lending and Producing Branch Manager at Guaranteed Rate in Boise, Idaho. I'm joined today by Charlotte Jean. Charlotte, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning. It's good. It's a good day.
Good, good. Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us again. And we love doing this. So we're coming to you with our segment of, we call it Let's Get Real About Real Estate, because what we're finding is that there is a lot of people there's a little bit of a disconnect about what's happening in the real estate market and what's happening in the world and the economy. So Charlotte and I decided to team up and bring this to you a couple of times a month with just a little tidbit or something we see about market activity in housing, about something going on in the mortgage world. So we're here to share this with you. And Charlotte, I'm just excited to be able to do this again. This is our third time that we've gone live on this. So thanks again for joining me on this journey.
No, thank you. I'm really excited to be able to do this and to be here. And I think it's a really good idea just because, like you said, there's this disconnect. So I'm glad to be able to, help.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I'm going to kick it off on that note, and I'm going to share with you something that, well, even Charlotte and I were head scratching a little bit on when we were talking about this. So just a quick video check. Charlotte, can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody that's watching and seeing this on the Facebook stream, what you're looking at right now is median home price appreciation rates. And what you're looking at right now is a 5-year average. So if you were to go from today back 5 years, what you're seeing is a map of the country and how much the average, or I'm sorry, the median home price has appreciated in that 5-year window. The green states have appreciated more than 20% above the national average, which the national average for the last 5 years is 30.68%. The brown states' appreciation rates are less than 20% below the average. Look where Idaho and the western states are is where I want to start with, Charlotte. And we were talking about that. You and I, this was our head scratching moment. Look at our home state of Idaho in the last 5 years. And this data is coming from CoreLogic and FHFA. So it's real reputable, good, strong housing data. But I don't know if you were surprised a little bit like I was, Charlotte. I mean, I know you were. Idaho is 63% median price appreciation in the last 5 years. What did you make of that when you saw that?
I mean, I was a little surprised. I mean, I know looking at the data in the last couple of years, we've seen, higher than average appreciation levels, but to actually see it in a 5-year span, to see that high was really shocking. Still, even knowing that it's appreciated so high over the last couple of years, it just was really shocking.
Right. And to see that that's actually coming, as the #1 in the nation, as I bring the screen back up there isn't a state that's higher in price appreciation in the 5-year window than our little state of Idaho here. Yeah. So at any rate, the next thing that we wanted to share with you about, and this is a COVID thing, everybody. So the move that we are seeing in Idaho, and I guess I'll just start over a little bit. The COVID fog has really dramatically changed people's, let's just call it the place where they're going to be comfortable living. Okay. So in my own world, and guys, I'm just one little loan officer in the big mortgage ocean in the country here. So I only know what I really know. I went back and I looked at my clients that have relocated to Idaho from California and Washington only. And I only picked those out because that's where I'm seeing a lot of business this year. I went back and I counted how many clients that I've worked for in the last 5 years that have relocated from Washington or California to Idaho. And I've worked for more people this year only than I have in the last 5 years in total. And I was trying to figure out, why is this happening? Well, obviously COVID, but it's affecting their prices. So now what I'm showing you here is a 1-year price appreciation. So a median price in the 1-year window. Look what Idaho has done. Look what California is at compared to where they were 5 years ago. Washington is still significantly lower than they were as well. And I started thinking about that a little bit. I mean, when we bring up our numbers that I just talked about, Charlotte, the number of people that I've seen coming here, that's a big reason why we're seeing Idaho's median price points drive up as much as they are. It's a supply demand thing because, again, I'm just one little loan officer in the big mortgage ocean, but I've seen so many people that are moving here from those states. And I just picked out those 2 states. I just was so surprised, but it leads into the reason, or one of the reasons, why Idaho's prices are appreciating so much. So I'm just one guy. What are you seeing as a real estate agent, Charlotte, as you're talking to borrowers and buyers that are coming in from other states? What's your sense and pulse?
Well, similar, right? Like I'm seeing people come from other states as well. I mean, we've got people coming from Colorado and California and Washington and Oregon. I mean, pretty much everywhere I'm seeing people coming into the state. But that is one of the driving factors for the price appreciation, because our inventory is low. And right now we are at a record low inventory, and the demand is accelerating. So we are going to continue here to see price appreciation just because of the supply, the low supply and the high demand. I mean, it's consistent.
Right. And that's one of the things too. We've talked about this on previous episodes. I think everybody just needs to keep something in mind here. A normal market, like if you go back to macroeconomics when you took it at college in your sophomore year, one of the very first principles they talked about is supply demand. I mean, that is part of a normal market. So when we have this little supply that you just talked about, so i.e. the number of houses that are available for sale, and this inordinately higher number of buyers trying to buy from a shrinking pool, it just makes sense why we're going to see this kind of home price appreciation in that short of a window. There's just too many buyers compared to the number of houses that we have for sale.
Well, and the other factor that goes into that too is that typically our new construction prices also help drive up that price. So this last, the Boise Regional Realtors put out their data this last week, and the price appreciation from June, which was $375, it went up to $390,000. So we have a new record high. It went up $15,000 in 1 month. And typically that's driven a lot by new construction prices, but this month it was actually driven a lot by the fact that we had a lot lower inventory in the $200,000 to $299,000 range, and a significant increase in the $500,000 to $599,000 range. So it was a little bit different as far as what drove up the price this last month. But still, I mean, we're seeing low inventory levels in the starter price points, which is causing some problems. So,
yeah, no, I agree. And I think one of the things that I guess one of the biggest barriers and hurdles that my borrowers have to get through is, oh, I keep seeing all these numbers like you just talked about, and home affordability is, how can I do this, right? I can't afford a $300,000 home. And it's something that I have to talk to people about, because really the math is just the math. Like it's a debt to income ratio thing. And if you can't qualify for a home at X price, whatever it is, it might be something that we have to plan and set up this pre-approval by having you pay off some debt. And then somebody says, well, I don't have any money to pay off the debt. And then I say, well, we do have down payment assistance. So if you have money saved that you are thinking in your mind, I need to allocate to down payment, what if we were actually able to qualify you for a home that had some down payment assistance with it, so you could take that money and instead pay off some debt? Maybe that car loan that's got only 2 years left to pay off, or maybe you get a gift from a family member or something like that. There are a lot of ways that we can do this and help people plan that. The key there is just not getting that paralysis by overanalysis, because thinking, oh, I just can't afford it, when you don't really know until you talk to the lender and can help you to figure out what that is. So
yeah, I think people are surprised too with what they can actually afford because of the interest rates. We do have record low interest rates right now. And I think people are just kind of surprised that they can actually afford what they can afford because the interest rates help, because they're lower. So
the average 30-year rate, and I think we've talked about this on previous episodes, the average 30-year rate as charted by Freddie Mac is somewhere just around 8%. And our rates right now are around 3%. I mean, every borrower is different, the credit, the application, everything's different. So not everybody gets those rates, but the average rates as charted by Freddie Mac are around 3%, actually probably a little bit lower for a 30-year loan. It's just amazing right now where rates are. So is there any other data? I know we talked about this a little bit before we went live, Charlotte, but anything else that you want to show people with regard to the local market here in Boise, our home area? Anything you want to share with us about what we've been talking about?
Well, I was gonna show a chart on what, but I already really talked to it about the price, right? Like that it went up $15,000 in 1 month. And I just don't want people to see that and be so scared that they're not going to be able to buy something, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you're priced out. I mean, that's the median home sales price. We do have low inventory. So if you are a seller and you're looking to buy up, now is an excellent time, because if you have a starter home, the inventory in that market is so low and the demand is so high, you know, you really want to think about, you know, if you're on the fence, let's talk, because you might be in a really good place to be able to afford to move up and get a really good price for your current home. So
Right.
I just don't want people to be afraid, because we're talking about these appreciation levels that are crazy. You know, 5 years, 62%. That is crazy. But let's just have a conversation and see whether or not that really prices you out, or whether that's just a big scary number.
Echo everything you said. That was so well said. The other last thing I'll add to that before we sign off would be, you know, a lot of people, when they come to me and they say, well, gosh, at these prices and at these payments, is it really worth it, you know, for me to purchase a home? And there's one tool that I go to in my toolkit, and I've got a lot of tools in my toolkit, but it's a rent versus buy analysis. And if you think about rent, what does rent do for you as the tenant?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. So if we can just show how much money, how much rent costs you in a year, in 5 years, and you aggregate it up. I mean, I did an analysis for a borrower just last week where the rent that they would have paid over 5 years almost added up to $100,000. Not for nothing, right? That money goes nowhere except into your landlord's pocket, and they thank you very much, right? However, at least when you have a mortgage payment, there is a portion of that monthly housing payment that's now going to principal reduction, which is essentially equity in your home, which is essentially net worth to you. So I tell you, the rent versus buy analyses are just really compelling to people when I show them to them. So
it is, especially because rent prices are also going up because the demand is high. So, you know, I'm talking to clients all the time about how they really want to figure out the plan to buy, because their rent keeps going up $100, $200, you know, $300 in a year or 2 years. So it's definitely a conversation that you want to have, even if like what you said earlier, you're not ready to buy right now. Getting that plan in place so that you can next year or the year after, you know, just having that plan so that you can take advantage long term of that equity build up. So
yeah, well said. Okay, well, I think we'll leave it on that, Charlotte. Great discussion as always. Love doing these updates with you. So thanks for making time out of your day to come on and do this with me again.
thank you. I love it. I'm so glad we were able to do this.
Yes. And again, huge thank you to those of you that are watching us on Facebook here. And do us a favor. We ask this each time. If you're watching this on Facebook and you feel like you're getting some semblance of value or education or just a light bulb moment, take a minute and hit the like button, hit the love button, hit the care button. And if you know somebody who also could benefit from watching this, do us a favor and share it, or tag them on it so that they can get that as well. Charlotte and I will put both of our contact information and cards in the comments on the post. So if any of you want to reach out to us directly because, hey, you want to do rent versus buy analysis with me, or you want to do a move up scenario analysis with Charlotte, I mean, we're here to help, and that's what we'd like to be able to offer to you. So make sure you reach out to us if you have any questions or comments, or know somebody that we should be talking to. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye, Charlotte.
Bye.
I hope this was helpful. As always, like, subscribe, and click that little bell. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.